2011, you're on textbook page 236, and blue notebook page, same thing, 236. I need you to define these two terms. Today we're going to go over factoring of quadratic expressions. So, what we're going to do, we're going to use some different colors. We're going to do our theoretical model. Actually, I'll start with black for now. Okay? Our theoretical model uses these terms. A, B, and C. Okay, guys? So, this is our theoretical model. We have ax squared plus bx plus c. This is what we're used to looking at. I'm going to show you how all these letters relate to each other. Okay? First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take example 1, right out of your textbook. Example 1's on page 238. Okay, guys? 238. We'll do the very first question. It says something like this. So I'm going to move this over. All right, so we have a theoretical model. The question I said we'll take the very first question. It states x squared plus 7x plus 12. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay. So first of all, we need to relate these back to the letters above. Wrong color. What is my a in this instance? Anyone know? 1, that's right. If there's no number there, we assume a is 1, okay? So a is 1 in this instance. What is our b? 7, that's right. And what is our c? 12, very good. Okay, all these numbers are very important when we go to end up factoring these. We have to be able to recognize there's a 1 here, our b is a 7, and our c is a 12. What we're going to do next is I'm going to walk you through how to factor a question like this. So the very first thing we're going to need to do is I need to find all the factors of a. So because a is 1, what are my factors of a? 1. 1 multiplied by 1. Those are the two factors, okay? The next thing I want you guys to do is find the factors of 12. We have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Those are all the factors of 12. We're going to line them up like that because what we're going to do is set up something, and we need these factors. We're going to multiply them to get some products over here, and those products need to add up to our b, which is positive 7. Okay? So, the reason we're doing this is because we're trying to get this form here. We're trying to get this form here. We need it to look like this in the end. Now, I know you guys remember using forms like this. Remember we were foiling before, we had 2 terms? So there's going to be a term here, a term here, term here, and a term here. Okay? We're trying to go from that form down to this form here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be multiplying columns. So I have this. These factors are one column. These factors are another, another, and another. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be multiplying those columns to get 2 products that add up to positive 7. Okay? So let's go with my very first. I'm going to trial and error through this. 1 multiplied by 1 and 1 multiplied by 12. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Is there any combination of 1 and 12 that makes positive 7? No. So we know those 2 aren't going to work. Okay? So next thing I'm going to do is cross them. 1 times 1 and 1 times 12. Well, we end up with the exact same terms. So any combination work? No. So we know that doesn't work out. Okay, so that one doesn't work out. Next thing we're going to try, the next column. Because there's only one column of A, I'm always using this column. If there's two, then I'm going to have to work back and forth, trial and error again. So I take 1 times 2, 1 times 6. So I get 2 and 6. Any combination of 2 and 6 that equals 7? No. So these two terms don't work. And we're going to cross again and try it. 1 times 6, 1 times 2. Because these factors are 1, we end up with the exact same answers every time. We get 2 and 6, no difference. We still don't get a pair of products that equal 7. So let's go to our final column. 1 times 3, 1 times 4. I get 3 and 4. Any combination of that works? Yeah. 3 plus 4 is going to be 7. So I can write those in stone. So I know that if I multiply this by this and this by this, I end up with 3 and 4. Okay? Remember, this is positive. So we'll deal with the sign last. So what that means is I'm for sure going to use the numbers 3 and 4. Works out great. So I'm going to write them in already. I'm going to write 3 in and 4 in. We'll deal with the signs last. Now the first term is this. Now I've done 1, but actually I have x squared. So I actually have to put an x to both of these. 1x times 1x is going to be 1x squared. Okay? Now I don't have to write those 1's in. They're not very important, right? I can just write x. So I've used this term and this term. And because they're the same, it doesn't matter which of these brackets they go into. Tomorrow, we're going to deal with numbers that aren't 1, and then placing them in brackets is important. But for right now, we can just put an x in the first and an x in the second. Okay? So I've used this one and this one, and I've used 3 and 4. So I put a 3 in, a 4 in, an x, and an x. Finally, I need to make sure that these terms, our signs are correct. So I need these two. What if they were negative? If I had negative 3 and negative 4, what's negative 3 and negative 4 together added? Negative 7. Is that what we're looking for? No, we're looking for positive 7. So what that means is I need positive 3 and positive 4. So factors of 12, I needed positive 3 and positive 4. So what that means is I just put in positive and a positive. And that's it. I've put this form here into a factored form down there. That part. So our final answer, remember these aren't negative signs underneath. They're just placeholders. I'm supposed to have 2 numbers and 2 numbers. My final answer is x plus 4, x plus 3. Next question. So question 1C. 1C says x squared minus x squared minus 29x plus 28. So the very first thing I want you guys to do when you get a question like this is I want you guys to figure out what your A, your B, and your C are, okay? So first of all, what is my A term? What is it? 1, that's right. It's just 1. So A is actually equal to 1 here. What would be my B term? Is it just 29? Negative 29. That's our B. Okay? And what would my C term be? Positive 28. That's my C term. Okay? So I can rewrite my theoretical model right above this so that we can see the similarities. AX squared plus BX plus C. So if you guys notice, we have our A, we have our B term, and we have our C. That's very important when we go to start this. Next, what we're going to do, let's get the black one out. Okay? I need to find the factors of A, like we said before. So what are my factors of A? 1 and 1, real easy. Next number. I need the factors of 28. What are they? 1 and 28. Let's go low to high. 2 and 14. Does 3 go into 28? There's 4. 4 and 7. There's 5. 6. No, that's right. Those are all of our factors. So we now have all the factors, and we know that we're going to have to put them in columns eventually. and they're going to have to add up. Now write it in blue just so you can see the similarity to our b. They need to add up to our b. So we write b down here, negative 29. So now that we have that, we know that our final answer is going to be in the form of bracket, bracket. We know they're going to be in brackets, and I'm going to have some terms. Just so you don't get confused, I'll let them fade away. There's going to be a term here, a term here, a term here, and a term here. Okay? We're looking for 4 terms. Now, let's go here. Okay. Oh, Jeffrey, you're in my way. So we have a column. So we put all our factors, guys, in columns, okay? Just to help stay organized. So we got to find a pair. We're going to take the very first ones. 1 times 1, 1 times 28. What does that give us? 1, 28. Now, is there a combination that makes negative 29? Yes. If they're both negative. Okay, great. So I can put that in stone now. So my first term, 1 and 28. Now we know if they're both negative. We know if they're both negative, they'll make 29. Okay? We'll deal with that last though. But what's very important now is want you guys to realize is I'm using these 2 numbers here and these 2 numbers here. So when we go to write them in, okay, I know I'm using the number 1 and I'm using the number 28. Okay? Also, both of these are 1, and to make 1x squared, I need x's attached to them. So it's 1x and 1x. But do I need to write those 1's in, guys? No, I don't need to write those 1's in. So I'm just going to write x, and x. So I now have my 4 terms that we talked about before. We said we needed to get 1, 2, 1, 2. So I have my 4 terms. The last step I'm going to deal with are my negatives. I have to figure out, oh sorry, not my negatives, my signs. I got to figure out what signs I'm going to be putting there. Okay, so now we got to deal with the signs. And like we said before, these both need to be negative. Okay? So I need to somehow make that a negative and that a negative. So if this was negative 1 and this was negative 28, would they still multiply to make positive 8? Yes. Okay. And if I did 1 times negative 1, would I get negative 1? And 1 times negative 28, would I get negative 28? Yes. So I'm going to turn both these terms into negatives, which means I put a negative in here and a negative in here. So my final answer is exactly what we got there. We have x subtract 28, x subtract 1. And that is our factored form of 1c. X minus 28, brackets x minus 1. So, finally, a way to put this all together. Step 1 is I want you to find all the factors of A. If you guys look, that's exactly what we had done. Put up that special factor. It's exactly what we had done here. Found the factors of A there, okay? Next, what you're going to do, step 2, find the factors of C. Not the straightest. Factors of C, if you guys remember. These were all the factors of C. Okay? Then what we did is we multiplied a pair of factors of A by a pair of factors of C so that the products added up to B. So I'm going to explain that step again. We took the pair of factors of A, those ones there. We multiplied them by the pair of factors of C. And remember that they added up to our B. Okay? Finally, step 4. Take the pair of factors you used in A and put them as the first terms in the bracket. So this is a different example. We have our 2 factors here, and they're the first terms in the brackets. So I had an x and an x. So an x and an x are going to be the first terms in my brackets here, okay? Next, step 5. take the pair of factors you used in C, put them as the last terms. So we'll say C was 7. This is just an arbitrary number I took. We put them in as the last terms in the brackets. And finally, step 6, we put the signs in the brackets. So these were the signs. Apparently I used a positive and a negative number. Those are the terms we finally put in. Okay?